The following production is intended for mature audiences. It includes real stories about substance abuse, addiction, mental illness, classism, child abuse, self-harm, suicide, violence, death, and dying that may be triggering or emotionally challenging for some individuals. Viewer discretion is advised.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I didn't want to live. I used to pray at night that I wouldn't wake up.
My life revolved around addiction and hard times and being disconnected from my children and my family. It was this very toxic lifestyle.
7 years doing crystal meth and heroin. It was, it was just downhill really quick. I couldn't hold a job. I was hurting friends and family around me. I didn't care.
It was depressing. It was dark. I was suicidal.
I hated the fact that I would wake up in the morning. I'd go to bed at night praying that I wouldn't wake up in the morning.
I ended up addicted to fentanyl in the last few years after my kid's dad passed away. And I'd completely given up on life altogether.
I lost contact with my family and didn't have shelter or food.
I had 25 years of sobriety at one time. And I slipped.
There was times you'd wake up and everything you owned was gone, whether it was police or other addicts. Yeah, just the lifestyle.
My story is a little different than other people's. I was a normal married woman of 3 kids, had the same job for 20 years. And then my husband confessed to molesting my daughter throughout our marriage. And it broke me. So I turned to fentanyl and meth as a way to cope. And I just, that was my life.
It was chaos. I was hopeless. I was lost. Homeless. In and out of jail. Stealing for my next fix. Doing whatever I could to get that next fix. Hurting people along the way.
When you're on the street, there are the couple of people that are nice and treat you with dignity and make you feel like a human. For the most part, you're a disgrace and a burden in society because of the demons in your life.
I ended up losing everything. I lost my house, my car, my job. I ended up homeless in a tent in November. It was hopeless. I felt hopeless. I felt like that was gonna be the end. I thought I was gonna die like that.
Another thing, when I'd go to jail, I'd read the Bible. I started reading the Bible when I was, it's probably 29, 30 or something. Only in jail. When I'd get out, same chaos again.
I was at my city care in Lethbridge, and the Streets Alive outreach team just happened to be there. And I have known one of the girls that works through outreach for probably 20 plus years. And I explained my situation about how I was working to get into the medical detox. She actually cared to get me into detox. She drove me to the hospital. When you're in that state, you can't do things for yourself. You can't keep appointments or timelines or anything like that. 9 times out of 10, you don't even know what day it is. She really made an extreme effort to get me into the detox, and I'll be forever grateful for what she did. I remember calling her while I was at the medical detox at the hospital and saying I just wanted to call before I left. And she was like, hold on, I'll be right there. So like her coming to see me, doing things for me, I think nobody else ever would have done.
Streets Alive had been praying for me for 2 years. Although I didn't care at the time. At that moment when I was in jail, I made the decision. My dad drove me to Calgary. My mom picked me up from there, and I started the life of sobriety and being the family of Streets Alive.
I grew up in foster care, so I don't really have a good connection with my biological family. So, yeah. And then where we live now in the house, they're my new family.
I think it's the most beautiful thing in the world is watching, someone gain, their life back, or maybe not back, but build a life that they've always wanted, and, kind of find themselves again and grow and have confidence. And it's truly the most beautiful thing in the world. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's just amazing.
The people that I was surrounded with, the love and support that they showed me in that time was unbelievable. Even if I had to be corrected, they did it very gently and kindly. And I never felt like that before. I've never been treated that way when it comes to my behaviors or the things that I'm doing. So it was, it was just nice. I became comfortable and wanting to be in that, in that home around those people, surrounded by healthy things, because it was really fulfilling.
What's your relationship with God like now?
It's great. Again, going from a place where I was always alone to having him in my life now is I can be all by myself, and I'm never alone, right? I am never alone. Wherever I go, he's always with me.
It's filled with grace and love and acceptance of who I am. And I've been able to embrace what I grew up in.
What does that feel like now?
Home, finally.
It's pretty good. It's growing still, but I think we grow until we die, really, till we see him. I read the Bible every day. I pray, meditate as much as I can, and just try to do his will. Sometimes, it's hard, but I just try to focus on him in every aspect of my life.
I know that he had no control over what happened in my life. I know that without him, I wouldn't have survived. I wouldn't have made it here. I wouldn't have made it at all. I'm so grateful to have, been introduced to a loving God, a God full of mercy. Everything it's gonna be so wonderful. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. There are no words. for how grateful I am for this program.
I'm able to fulfill whatever it is that God has in store for me.
It was the best choice to come here. Like, it was a lifesaver for sure.
Just being grateful for the small things every day has made a dramatic change in my life.
I hope that I can offer hope to other people now, going through what I've gone through and where I am today. It's hard to put into words. It's just an absolute miracle.
It is so much fun to watch a life change because they're loved.
Be a light in the darkness. Visit streetsalive.ca to get involved.